Peace, guys. Patrick, ConservativeRap. And sometimes I wonder, do people care about children or do they really care about gossip? Is this really, for most of us, you know, when we're combing through the internet and making our comments, is it really about whatever nosy information we could find on celebrities or is it really about the kids? Let's go ahead and talk about what's happening, Epstein, etc. The gentleman Mike Lee put this out on X, and I agree with him. Congressional Republicans are reportedly attempting to prevent Ghislaine Maxwell from disclosing Jeffrey Epstein's client list, according to the Daily Mail. Mike Lee says, name them. And this is what we have to do. The fake news, they're expired. They're done with. No one pays attention to them anymore. And when they start to make these accusations, all we have to do is just comb deep down and ask them to be specific in order to point out the BS. And moving on here, this is Alex Thompson. Biden did not individually approve each name for the categorical pardons. Rather than ask Biden to keep signing revisions, his staff waited and then ran the final versions through the auto pen, which they saw as routine. The pardons are not going to stand, specifically as it comes to the Russiagate nonsense and the January 6th committee. Let's take a look at Libs of TikTok. Biden's pardons for the January 6th committee were signed by AutoPen at the direction of an assistant. And this is the same New York Times article. So the truth's coming out. The deep state is running out of time. And it's about time we hold them to accord. Now here's Libs of TikTok again. General Mark Milley saying he would give China a heads up if the U.S. was planning to attack and had secret calls with China behind Trump's back. Treason. New York Times just confirmed his preemptive pardon was approved by a White House assistant and signed by AutoPen, i.e. it's void. So let's charge him. Here's another AutoPen signature. Fauci pardon was approved at 10:30 p.m. by White House aide Jeff Zients using AutoPen signature, New York Times. And just on the conspiracy theories, this is Kash Patel. The conspiracy theories just aren't true and never have been. It's an honor to serve as the President of the United States, real Donald Trump, and I'll continue to do so for as long as he'll call on me. Storm has arrived. There's a big social media op to cause chaos among MAGA because there's a massive boom coming in from the DOJ and the FBI. Did you really think Kash Patel, the Russiagate guy, would walk away right now? Given the fact that we've already found out about the upcoming conspiracy case, he's either done with or deep into the investigation. X is out of control right now. Go ask people in real life how they feel about the Trump administration and what they're doing, and they'll say it's the best first 6 months ever. Scroll on X and you feel like the world is ending. Ignore the noise. The Trump admin is killing it. Here's Red State. Trump has had enough of Vladimir Putin and promises severe consequences within 50 days if no deal, using tactical presidential power to bring an end to the war. Charging NATO for the weapons that they'll send to Ukraine, and then also raising tariffs on Russia if they don't put an end to the nonsense. It's genius. Moving on to New York politics. Cuomo to run as an independent and wants to spoil us out. Out of his parties running for mayor, former New York Democrat Governor Andrew Cuomo is reportedly going to announce his independent campaign to be the next mayor of New York City this week, albeit with a caveat. He wants all the potential spoilers to vow to step out of the race. Cuomo has already lost the Democratic primary to Mamdani in a turnout election, but he hopes an independent general election can net him votes to overcome the far-left Democrats in the city who would turn out for Mamdani. So we'll see. Who knows how this thing is going to go? It's a split vote, and I'm hoping for Sliwa, but we'll see where things end up. Breitbart. 60% of Democrats believe Trump colluded with Russia, still to this day. So this goes to show you where most people's minds are at, right? Party of science, my behind. Despite a full-fledged endless special counsel investigation coming up empty, despite billions and billions of corporate dollars spent on years-long media investigations coming up empty, despite all the congressional investigations coming up empty, despite nearly 10 years and a bottomless pile of money available to organized left that has come up empty, 60% of Democrats still believe Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign colluded with Russia to steal the election from Hillary. So this goes to show you where most people's minds are at and why we have to take time with them to expose the truth. Don't buy into the hype of what you're seeing, and just keep your ears open. Just the News puts this out. FBI opens grand conspiracy probe on weaponization, opening the door to a special prosecutor. The FBI has quietly launched an investigation into a decade of Democrat Party and deep state antics from Russia collusion to Jack Smith, opened the door to appointment of a special prosecutor to examine whether the well-documented episodes amount to criminal conspiracy to meddle with 3 U.S. elections to the benefits of Democrats and the detriment of President Trump. The grand conspiracy case was open several weeks now after Kash Patel took over and took a significant boast if Trump were to declassify 2 secret tranches of evidence that identify potential ignition point into the alleged conspiracy of 2016, according to several people directly familiar with the inquiry. So let's take a look at some additional posts, guys, and remember the viewpoint. Remember the grand scheme of things. I'm going to share Trump on Truth Social. What's going on with my boys and in some cases gals? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's doing a fantastic job. We're on one team and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it, all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For years it's Epstein, over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to the files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with Russia, the 51 intelligence agencies, the laptop from hell, and more? They created the Epstein files just like they created the Christopher Steele dossier they used on me, and my now so-called friends are playing right into their hands. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they just use it? They couldn't have given up on John F. Kennedy or Martin Luther King files. No matter how much success we've had in securing the border, deporting criminals, fixing the economy, and energy dominance, a safer world where Iran will not have nuclear weapons, it's never enough for some people. We're about to achieve more in 6 months than any other administration has in over 100 years and have so much more to do. We're saving our country, making America great again, which will continue to be our complete priority. The left is imploding. Kash Patel, the FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, the rigged and stolen election of 2020, arresting thugs and criminals, and spending month after month looking at nothing but the same old radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen, and they tried to do the same thing in 24. That's what she's looking into as AG and more. 1 year our country was dead, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody nobody cares about. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And lastly, Washington Examiner. Trump dishes on his legacy, hopes to be remembered as the man that saved the U.S. President Donald Trump spoke on Saturday night about the legacy he hopes to leave this time in the office, saying he wants to be remembered as a good person who saved the U.S. from fall. Trump sat down for an interview with his daughter-in-law Lara and asked the president how he'd like to be remembered. A good person, but a person that saved our country. So again, guys, look at the big picture. This is an information war. The deep state's not playing around. We don't need to lose faith in the soldiers and the people we elected to get the job done. And it's not going to be a straight line through all of these conspiracy theories and the awakening of the populace. It's going to take a little bit more time. What do you think? Is all of the hype around Jeffrey Epstein and the files really about our concern for children? Or is it just so we can have some celebrity gossip as opposed to really focusing on rebuilding America and saving our country? Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, share, and check me out at ConservativeRap.com for more. Thanks and take care.